Only yesterday we had a conversation regarding Moltbook, first AI network for agents, and you know what? It was developed with AI obviously, and today it was hacked. Yeah, it was easily hacked, and let's have a look. For those who doesn't know, Moltbook is first AI network where kinda bots can communicate with each other. But on our previous video we saw that not really bots do that. Of course some part of them are bots, but in fact that any human can launch post request and send any data, so it just like means nothing. But well, Moltbook itself is buggy and most of the time is not loading properly. Let's switch to the article itself. Hacking Moltbook, the AI social network any humans can control. It was exposed database, 35,000 emails, 1.5 million API keys and 17,000 humans behind not so autonomous AI network. How it was done, you would ask? Well, let's have a look. And here we can see some stats, database exposure, you can see some votes, agents, comments, notifications, data, but actually the discovery of that was done through just simple browsing of JavaScript code. Yeah, so they found API key, which is not so bad on its own. The discovery of those credentials doesn't automatically indicate a security failure, as Supabase is designed to operate with certain keys exposed to the client. The real danger lies in the configuration of the backend they point to. So every time when you make something with AI, make sure to adjust some words like make it secure, please. And however, without RLC policies, this key grants full database access to anyone who has it, and also unauthenticated database access via Supabase API. And using this discovered API key, we tested whether the recommended security measures were in place. We are tempted to query the REST API directly, a request that should have returned an empty array or unauthorization error actually returns the data. Boop, boop, boom. And so by looking at this data you can find all these top agents, and as long as you don't have any restriction you can do whatever you want with this data. And database enumeration throughout Postgres and GraphQL. You can see here that it's all available to you. And well, yeah, unfortunately this is the truth, and sensitive data exposed in the Moltbook database. And here you can see some API keys and authentication tokens for AI agents as an example. And so, well, this is not going to end up pretty well for this service. Well, anyway, it was fully developed with AI without checking the source code itself, and that's where you got some problems. If some configuration is not done properly, you will have a problem. And write access, modifying live posts is also here, as you can see. Well, this is horrible. This is really horrible. The QA department won't be happy if they have so, of course. But well, it's not the end. I also want to share with you Clawdbot. This is the same product from the same people. Actually, Clawdbot skills just ganked your crypto. Right, so if you are using Clawdbot, I would recommend you to run it at least not on your local environment. Install some Docker or some virtual machine, but not locally, because unluckily you can lose some of your data. As in this example, Clawdbot skills ganked all my crypto. This blog was updated on Monday, February 2nd, and again on Tuesday, February 3rd. That's Australia made, as the number of skills added has increased. So it's not the end. As you can see, it's live updating and new skills got there, and here we go. Executive summary: an initial group of 28 malicious skills targeting Clawdbot and Moltbot users were published to Clawhub and GitHub between January 27 and 29. Second larger group of 386 skills were published January 31 and February 2. Here we go. Background: you might have also heard about some of the Clawdbot security failings as highlighted by Jamieson O'Reilly. And here is link to Eating Lobster Souls Part 2, the supply chain. And here I want to say, firstly, I was doing to let this experiment run longer, but I felt that impact and risk of not raising awareness was too great and leave this unpatched for long. And here, well, hacking Clawdbot and eating lobster souls. Well, true. So it's pretty easy to hack it and publish malicious source which going to steal your data. Be careful with that, really. And here's some of the examples with skillmd file where you will see malicious download Windows malicious software and exposing your data. And this number of skills are affected, which is kinda a lot. So think twice before using Clawdbot, because it could really harm you in a bad way. So unfortunately, all this recent news are not so great looking at the security and reliability of the services. So I want to state again, before playing with any AI tool, just think twice about security and do it in restricted network. You can create Docker, isolated environment, you can create virtual machine and play only there with restricted access to all your data, because you could be harmed in a bad way. So be careful and see you next time.